Good morning. We have with us this morning a number of residents here that live in this senior citizen building. This building was built in 1990 and named after one of the founders of the Woodlawn organization, Father Martin Farrell, a Roman Catholic priest. But today we have with us Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, who graciously interrupted his schedule. He's due to be on the West Coast in a very, very short period of time, like today. But he thought it was important for him to stop, interrupt his schedule, and to be with us today, to hold a press conference to discuss and address the issue of Medicaid cuts that are affecting so many of our most vulnerable citizens. Reverend Jackson and I have been together for a very, very long time, so I know that my job is to introduce him, get out of the way, which is what I'm going to do, and he will speak, and then I will come back, and then we'll have a question and answer for the media. Please give a round of applause for Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, President of Rainbow Push.
Father, you're on the other side. He come over here. In part is the challenge of the Rainbow Push Coalition, a body of church organizations to defend the poor and deliver the needy. The latest round of budget cuts, there is a proposal to cut, legislation to cut 1.5 to 1.7 billion in Medicaid. Already doctors are not likely to handle Medicaid patients because it's a small amount of money and the late payment. And so now the most vulnerable are being attacked all over again. Its impact will be upon the access to food and medicine and transportation. We urge Governor Quinn to not sign this bill, but prepare to wait until we can amend the bill and find other sources of revenue. It may be corporate tax loopholes, other sources of revenue. Some institutions are not paying their share of taxes. It may be that. It may be the $1 billion federal cut in revenue. It's not like, it doesn't stand the reason that we can cut, that we can have $2 billion a week for funds for Afghanistan and keep cutting the most vulnerable of our citizens at home. We have lost 1,700 soldiers in Afghanistan in 10 years and 5,300 here at home. So violence here is an expensive health care item on the budget as well. So stop the flow of guns. And start the flow of jobs, which generates the revenue for the General Revenue Fund, which helps to pay for vital social services. And so we come today saying that we want the governor to not sign this bill, to prepare to amend it with other revenue sources. In the meantime, we're prepared to take senior citizens downtown or Springfield and occupy downtown until something happens. We cannot stand idly by and watch people die in the dark because they don't have very basic services. It will affect their food, their medicine, their transportation, and they deserve more. We stand with these seniors, and we're prepared to organize around the state, from here to East St. Louis. We got places like Tams Prison, in fact, should be closed. They found $17 million for Tams Prison just for the politics of keeping it open as a jobs plan for Tams, Illinois. There are other prisons that should be closed. There must be ways out. And so we stand with these seniors today. With all the people who are listening today to call the governor's office today and urge him not to sign this bill. Why don't you tell the story to this mic? Indicate what Medicaid means to you and what would happen if Medicaid is cut from you.
It meant,
Turn around, come a little closer.
it meant for me getting back and forth and holding on to the hope of getting a cure for my cancer in stage 4. Had I not been able to get back and forth to my treatments, that would put a hinder to my treatment. And so I'm so thankful for the Medicaid and for having that benefit to myself. I did not have the opening of going back and forth that open to me. So I'm grateful for that benefit. And I'm hoping that the governor will see fit to leave that opening for others because we need that benefit. I'm thankful
If
that I
Medicaid is
got
cut,
through 60 treatments.
what will it mean to you?
I
if
got
it's
burns
cut?
on my body, but I'm grateful. I want to be a survivor. I want others to survive.
Amen.
If the Medicaid is cut, what will it mean? What will it mean to you?
It would mean a loss of hope for others and also for me getting the medication. Now my medication, it's like almost $400. If they decide to cut the benefits, where am I going to get the medication on a fixed income? So that's where I'm at. I'm asking the governor to help us and let us help ourselves.
We may very well take you.
Thank
We
you.
may very well take you to meet with the governor. We want to take a group of you to meet with the governor, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have Miss.
Hi, Upper Moore. I'm also suffering from cancer, and I need the
Medicaid.
Medicaid and transportation backwards and forward to the doctor. And I'm asking the governor, would he please hear our plea?
Thank you so much. Give her a hand. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Penelope Davis, and I'm also a cancer, esophagus cancer. So I need my Medicaid. If I didn't have my Medicaid, I don't know what I would have done because what they did to me, they had to take out my whole esophagus and built me another one from my stomach, and then I had to go through radiation and chemo. So I don't know what I would have done, if I'd have had the Medicaid. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what we see is Medicaid is life or death, and we choose life. And the governor must not sign this bill until we find an alternative. I want to thank you for coming today. I want to thank Reverend Leon Finney for his stewardship and work with you. Give him a hand. Write this number down, friends. Governor Quinn, we should begin to call 312-814-2121. 312-814-2121. 312-814-2121. Call Governor Quinn. Say save Medicaid. It's a matter of life and death. Don't sign that bill. It's a Medicaid. It's a Medicaid.
Medicaid.
A matter of life and death.
Life and death.
Don't sign the bill.
Don't sign the bill.
Push us over the bridge.
Push us over the bridge.
Just remember now, we are getting ready. Reverend Jackson has challenged us to be able to support an effort to lobby the governor's office. And I just want to remind you that, as you know, the Woodlawn Community Development Corporation, we manage residential facilities for 3,500 of our senior citizens. So we are poised and ready to go to work. And it's going to mean that we are prepared to go to the streets if necessary in order to save lives among our most vulnerable population. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming.